The movie opens with Asha having a nightmare. It's about the day the world ended. It was a normal night in Hong Kong when suddenly a massive tsunami hit the city and quickly flooded it. The water swallowed everything, and only a few who were able to go up in a high place survived. 5 years later, and Asha now lives in a post-apocalyptic world. There is no government, and most of the city has turned into a sea that is filled with dangerous sea animals. Asha lives alone in the apartment building that she used to live in. The world has turned to chaos, and there is no one to enforce the law, so the city is now filled with gangs and scavengers. Asha avoids those people by hiding out in her building and making no noise. Every morning, she goes to the roof and gets some clean water from her secret stash, which is also carefully hidden. After drinking some tea, she listens to the radio, but she ignores the recorded message informing about a government shelter with supplies. She instead listens to music with headphones to avoid making any noise and gathers any water she could find and adds it to her stash. In a flashback, we see Asha before the disaster. She is having dinner with her younger sister and trying to bond with her. We later see her meeting up with her friend and talking to her about a party that her boyfriend is throwing. They also talk about Asha moving out of her parents' home. Asha doesn't have a great relationship with her parents, especially her mother, who Asha says is too controlling. Back to the present, Asha scouts the area using her binoculars. She sees a building fall off and then checks in to see if the people in the other buildings are still alive. While looking for something to scavenge, Asha sees a box floating on the water. She rushes to her makeshift harpoon and she uses it to grab the box. As she is pulling it back, something in the water pulls her to the edge, but she manages to grab the box before she was fully pulled in. Asha opens the box, but the only useful thing in the box was alcohol. She takes the alcohol and drinks it all. Asha then hears a woman screaming, and when she watches through her binoculars, she sees a woman getting attacked by the violent scavengers. Asha then looks to the top of the building and sees one scavenger watching her too. She immediately ducks down, but the man has informed his team and they start sailing to her. Asha then rushes to hide all her valuable stuff. She then hides in a secret closet. The scavengers come shortly after, and they start looking around the house. They find nothing and yell at the guy who promises that he saw a woman, but they don't believe him. The next morning, Asha finds another box floating. This box was also mostly filled with trash and expired fruit, but she finds a small honey pot fully preserved. Later, while Asha is busy with her chores while someone sneaks into her building, Asha hears someone moving, but when she looks around, she doesn't find anyone. Later that night, while she is getting ready to sleep, Asha hears another noise and goes to investigate with her flashlight, but once again there's nothing. Next, she washes her face and leaves the soap out on purpose to finally catch the intruder, who turns out to be a little girl named Hey. Asha grabs the shoulder to confront her, but Hai kicks her and runs away. She takes a few more things, including Asha's makeshift lamp, and goes down the corridor, but before she can open the mysterious door, she hears Asha coming and leaves again. The next morning, Asha goes to take out some food from her stash, but she finds some of it missing. She finds empty wrappers and follows it, which leads her directly to Hai, who is sleeping holding the lamp. Asha leaves her and makes noodles for the two of them while she is cooking. Hai wakes up and she looks around the building. She finds an envelope hidden behind a fake electric outlet, and when she opens it, she finds a picture of Asha and her sister. At that moment, Asha sees her, and Hai runs away again. Asha then puts back the pictures, but she accidentally drops one of them. In another flashback, we are taken to Asha's sister's birthday. Her family gives Asha's sister a special necklace, which upsets Asha, as the older sister was supposed to get the necklace, and she gets into a huge fight with her mom. Back to the present, we see Asha wearing that necklace. Asha finishes making the food and brings one for Hai. She first ignores Asha, but as soon as she leaves, devours the food. The next morning, Asha finds all her stolen goods back. Asha then cooks more food and they eat on the roof together, where they bond a little and have fun. That night, Hai sleeps next to Asha, but she starts crying in the middle of the night. Asha calms her down and she asks her if she is missing someone. Hai tells her that she misses her mom and reveals her plan, which is to create a raft and look for her family. In another flashback, we see Asha watching the news. The anchor is reporting about a massive tsunami that has destroyed Singapore. Her mom then turns off the TV and tells her to join them for dinner. While eating dinner, Asha and her mom get into another argument about her going to her boyfriend's party. Her mom forbids her, and they get into another massive fight. Asha declares that she feels like a prisoner and leaves the home. Her sister follows her outside and begs her not to go. Asha tells her she will return in the morning to talk to her parents, but she has decided to move out and live on her own. Asha is waiting for a taxi with her little sister when suddenly a giant tsunami engulfs in the city. Everyone is running away from the flood, and Asha is holding her sister's hand and running up a building. Asha is in front, and she is fast, but her sister can't keep up, and she gets trampled by other people who were also running. The tsunami is also catching up. Asha manages to make it to the roof of the building, but everyone else, including her sister, is hit with the tsunami and they all drown and die. Back to the present, we see Asha and Hei bonding more over the next few days. Asha teaches Hei how to make clean water and ration food, and Hei shows her mechanical skills. One day, Hei is listening to the radio, and she hears the pre-recorded government message about the safety shelter. She rushes to tell Asha, but Asha tells her that there is no way for them to know for sure if this place exists, and they can't risk it because the sea is dangerous, and if they don't find food on the way, they will die. Hei leaves upset, and she starts building a makeshift raft with the trash she gathered. Asha visits her later that night and explains that she had tried to leave before, but she had to come back because she was short on supply. The next morning, Asha surprises Hei with a completed raft that she worked all night on. Hei is ecstatic, and the two start gathering materials for their journey. While walking around, Hei headphone gets yanked by a door handle, and the music starts playing out loud. Asha rushes to her and puts the headphone back in, but she is scared that someone might have heard the music, so she decides to postpone their journey, which Hei is not happy about, but they agree to wait out the night and see if there is anyone around. Asha goes out and looks over the wall and doesn't see anything. She thinks that maybe no one heard them, but suddenly Hei hears the scavengers coming towards their building. She informs Asha, and they scramble to hide. Asha takes Hei to her secret hiding spot and puts her in. The place can only hold one person, so she decides to give it to Hei. Hei begs Asha to stay with her, but Asha promises they will meet up when the scavengers leave, and she runs away to her parents' home. The scavengers arrive shortly after, and they start raiding the place. They guys split up and search all the rooms. One guy enters the room where Asha is staying at, and he can't handle the awful smell. The room is filled with the smell of Asha's parents' rotting bodies, and she doesn't open this room. Its smell is unbearable. Asha is covering her nose with a piece of cloth, but even though she can't handle the smell, the guy runs back out, which gives time for Asha to vomit without getting heard. The scavengers are getting ready to leave disappointed again, but a young kid from the group notices something weird in the closet. They then open the secret compartment and capture Hei. Asha hears a scared Hei telling the group where she is hidden, and the scavengers find her and knock her out. She wakes up tied up, and with only one of the scavengers beside her. He tells her he likes feisty women and gets ready to force himself on her. But before he could do anything, he gets called by his superior, who orders him to bring Asha to their boat. The guy then drags Asha to the boat, and when Asha sees Hei, she starts remembering her sister. Asha feels guilty for letting her sister die, and she is determined to not let that happen to Hei too. She pulls at the rope and tries to escape, but the guy pulls back and makes her fall into the water. Luckily, there's a broken CD nearby, so Asha uses it to attack the man, which makes him angry, and he starts choking her into the water. Asha is almost going to drown, but she manages to grab a flare gun she had in her pocket, and she shoots the guy in the face and kills him. The other scavengers hear all the noise and come back into the building, but they don't see Asha. They split up and start looking for her. The first guy hears Asha's voice and enters a room. He sees her and rushes to her, but she makes him trip using the rope and then beats him to death using a guitar. She then takes his knife and runs into another room. She turns on the radio, which catches the attention of another guy. He enters the room and walks to the radio. Then Asha jumps behind him and stabs him. He still tries to fight her off, but she manages to kill him too. Asha then goes into the next room and waits for the female scavenger, who also makes her way into the room. The female scavenger sees a can with fire inside it. She walks close to it, but again, Asha jumps behind her and pushes her into the kitchen. She then throws the fire at her and closes the door. The leader then hears the scream of his teammate and moves in that direction. Asha jumps on him and tries to attack him, but he overpowers her. He starts choking her, but she manages to stab and kill him. Asha then hears the young boy coming for her, and she runs to the roof as he has a gun. He follows her to the roof, but she manages to dodge him, and she locks him up there. Hai is now with only one guy that is guarding her. Asha makes her way down, but she doesn't want to alert the guy. She tries to hit him with her harpoon, but she misses him. The guy then goes closer to the edge of the boat to see what was thrown at him, which gives the opportunity for Hai to push him off the edge, but the guy manages to grab onto her, and they both fall in the water. Asha also jumps in the water, and she grabs Hai. We then see a shark swimming around, and it attacks the guy, which gives enough time for Asha and Hai to get back on the boat. Now, owners of a new boat, which is filled with supplies, Asha and Hai decide to start their journey to the location told on the radio. And the movie ends as they start the boat and move forward.